Thank you, Jenna. Roll call, please.
Brad Bookout,
Present.
Dan Flanagan,
Present.
Jim Mokel, William Hughes,
Here.
Matt Cantz,
Yes.
Jessica Piper. Here. Eugene Whitehead,
Present.
Ben Freeman.
Here.
And Ed Carroll.
Alrighty, thank you. Was the agenda posted properly? Thank you. Everybody had a good chance to look it over with the new order for today?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second. All right. Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan. Roll call, please.
Flanagan,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mokel, Bookout,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Cantz,
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes. Thank you. We'll move on to our June 24th council meeting minutes.
Motion to table those minutes for this year. We're gonna work with
Hold on a second. Let's get a second and then you can discuss.
I'll second the table.
All right, please go ahead.
I'm gonna work with Marissa. She did similar to what they've been doing with the commissioners, did use some AI tools to try to convert the videos into minutes. And we've got some new prompts and things that we can use maybe to clean those up a little bit. There were some errors too that need to be addressed. So we're gonna work with her before the next meeting to get those cleaned up.
Rest of the council, have any questions or comments before we vote on tabling the minutes? All right, hearing none, roll call, please.
Flanagan,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mokel, Bookout,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Cantz,
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes. All righty, thank you. We'll move into the appointments and committee reports. The Redevelopment Commission, Amber, if you would, please.
Good morning, Council. Amber Green, President of the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission. I have a brief update for you. I was last here in March, so I'll go through what we've done from April till current. We've noticed recently that consistently we are having project bids come in higher than engineer estimates. Our last two bids that we've put out, they have come in significantly higher than the engineer estimates. One of those is the MIC trail extension, which is extending the trail from Red Dog to Garkey. We have a call to review those next week. The other one was the Park 1 second entrance. Because of those bids coming in so much higher than the engineer estimates, and because of some issues looking at the TIF funds surrounding that area, we did put that project on hold. So that is going to be waiting until we have some significant development going into Park 1 to justify that expense. We have amended, some of you are aware that we had an interlocal agreement with Daleville. Daleville took control of their TIF because of that interlocal agreement. We have amended that with our approval and the approval of Daleville's Redevelopment Commission so that the DCRC can retain 20% of that. They were going to take everything that was left over after outstanding bond and bot payments. And after reviewing what we've done for the last year, since they have had control, there are just some countywide expenses and projects that we thought they should also be participating in. So we came to an agreement with them to retain 20% of that for those expenses moving forward. We are still working with Make My Move, which is a program that the city has had implemented for about 3 years to increase population and housing demand. That does offer a workforce transfer now as well. It was only working for remote workers. They had to have a remote job if they were moving from out of state into Muncie or Delaware County. Now we can also add anyone that is looking for employment, and they do not have to be from out of state. So we can take anyone from outside of Delaware County. So we're focusing on surrounding counties because of the employment opportunities with Ball State and IU Health. We've invested in the Cowan schools for a locking system. They did new locks and doors around their buildings. We have upgraded infrastructure through equipment purchases for the highway department, and we've also worked on paving the last gravel roads in Delaware County. Those will be done. And then we have addressed staffing changes with Mr. Bookout leaving as the director. We worked with the Muncie Delaware County Economic Development Alliance to hire a new director, and she is here with me today, and I will be introducing her to you all. This is Gina Caravaglia, and she will be working as our new executive director, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Amber. As she said, my name is Gina Caravaglia. A little bit about me, I am a two-time Ball State graduate. I just graduated with my master's in public administration this past May. Prior to earning this role, I had some state government experience in election administration, and I have been living in Muncie and Delaware County for the last 6 years, but I am very excited and quite proud to now be living and working here full time. So I appreciate the invitation today, and I look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
That's all we have. If you have any questions, let me know.
Council have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you,
Thank
Gina.
you for
Nice
your
to meet
update.
you. All right, moving on to the Job Classification and Compensation Committee. Matt?
We have one, change that we're going to do. I'll just give you a quick update on the, CASA Executive Director role. They were unsuccessful in finding somebody with, a law degree for that position, and so we're gonna make a tweak to the existing Executive Director job description to include a couple, to make it match the one we approved last month, minus the, requirement for legal. So that's the only change, and I don't think it needs to be approved because it's already been done for the legal version of that. So we're gonna fix that one up and get that to Emily, so she can try to help get us, that position filled. I think that's the only update. Oh,
Mr. Cantz, Jeff Hanser, Chief Probation Officer. I'm here on behalf of Emily Anderson today. The CASA Director position was recently filled. Nikki Boskin, who has been a CASA employee since 2017, was selected for the directorship position. I believe she had anticipated coming up today to introduce herself to council, but she had a conflict that couldn't be avoided. So I was just coming up and letting the council know that that
That's
position has since been filled.
And what was the effective date on that, too?
I don't have that information. It was
In the last few
past
weeks?
2 weeks, round about there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Matt, based off of Ben's recommendation, we should vote to update the job description changes.
Okay.
So are you making that a motion?
I will make a motion to update the CASA Executive Director position to mirror the CASA Executive Director position requiring a law degree. The new position will be, minus the language that requires a law degree, but will match the existing job description.
Second.
All right, is everybody clear on what we're gonna vote on? I have a motion by Mr. Cantz and a second by Mr. Flanagan. All right, roll call.
Flanagan,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mokel, Bookout,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Cantz,
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes. Thank you. We'll move on to the transfers and appropriations. Elizabeth?
Starting out in County General, 138 courts, 137, 101 assistant court reporter, negative 4,471. 536 equipment, positive 4,471. Total transfer 0.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan. Judge, would you like to speak?
Not if you're gonna grant it.
Give the
Okay,
council a
what
little.
we're doing is we're asking to transfer some extra money we have in the court reporter fund over to equipment. What it is we're wanting to purchase, your hand is up, please, Jeff. What's called remarkable electronic notepads for all the judges. You may ask why we're doing this when we have paper. Well, I've not been on the bench yet 2 years, and I've gone through 25 pads of paper just taking my notes for all the different hearings that I have, whether it's a trial or a custody matter or whatever. With the Remarkable Pad, it's electronic. It will recognize handwriting. It will turn handwriting into typed. It also automatically saves it as a PDF. Because what happens is when I have all these pages of handwritten notes, My staff then have to scan it in, turn it into a PDF, so it can then be uploaded into Odyssey, so it is kept then, because it doesn't become part of the record, but it becomes part of the court record, so I can refer back to those notes as needed. There are approximately per notepad, it's about $650. We need 7 of them. We have a little bit of money already in the equipment fund, so this is extra money that we'll need to complete the purchase for 7 of these pads. The 7 pads will cost just over $4,700. The $4,400 that we're asking, we're gonna have to take some money that we already have in the equipment fund to round it off. So that's the basis, and I've presented you what it is we're purchasing and kind of an explanation as to why this is I think a purchase that is going to be well used in the future by myself and my fellow judges.
You know, during Finance Committee, it was stated that Judge Calhoun is currently utilizing this and has found it to be very
But she's
beneficial.
using her own private,
Personal one.
personal,
Right.
It's not a Remarkable, it's a different
Similar.
brand. It's the Kindle, it's a Kindle. So she's using, which is similar, but she has to use her own money to
Sure.
storage and all that sort of stuff. So this is what we're doing now. Honestly, there's only gonna be probably 3 judges currently that will be using them. However, it's anticipated that eventually all 5 judges will be using, well, I should say 7, because we have our master commissioner as well as our magistrate. They will use it as well. So 5 out of the 7 will begin using them immediately.
Questions from
questions?
council? All right, hearing none, roll call, please.
Oh, I am so sorry. Flanagan,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mokel, Bookout,
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Cantz,
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You.
Thank you,
I'm not the
judges.
only one that's slow this morning.
All right,
I'm
moving
so
on,
used to
Elizabeth,
being
please.
Down there.
All right. Outside of County General, 1135,400 cumulative bridge, 160,126 overtime pay, positive 25,000, 173 health insurance, negative 25,000, total transfer 0.
Move to approve?
Second?
Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan. Carrie, would you like to give us a quick update here?
Good morning. Carrie Dye, County Highway. So this overtime money is needed. We've got some extra money in the health insurance. We had an employee that retired at the end of the year. The employee that filled that spot didn't need the family position or the family insurance. But needing the overtime comes from the staff shortages, winter call-ins. The bridge crew seniority is high on the list, so they're one of the first ones that's going to be called in. Obviously, their overtime rate is more. Also, at the beginning of the year, we paid out Tommy's overtime from last year since he no longer accrues overtime.
Any questions from council?
What's the expectation for next year? Are you gonna be budgeting more?
Yeah, I put in for 100,000, which is exactly where we're at right now.
Well, by not having to pay Tommy up, that'll be a little bit more in there for him to use.
It's just
But you also, you can't guess what kind of storms you're gonna have and what kind of call-ins you're gonna have, so
Yeah, that's the thing. We
being
spent,
prepared and adding more into that line, I think is a good idea.
like, the first of the year, we spent every weekend at the county, you know, for every week until spring. It seemed like with something with snow, ice, whatever. Then all the winds and stuff. So it's hard to predict what we're going to have, you know. And like I said, the bridge crew guys are the high seniority. When we do the call-ins for overtime for snow, anything, they definitely are called first. But with knocking mine off, what you guys had to pay me out to will be a huge. So
Another thing is the bridge crew went through and are replacing pipes prior to Troy starting his paving season. So with that, they were putting double and triple pipes in a day. So that took in some overtime as well.
and I can explain that. For years and years, there was Band-Aids put on, Band-Aids. We don't put Band-Aids anymore. So of course we're getting all the broken Band-Aids at one time. So all these roads that maybe it should only be 2 or 3 pipe, there's 12, you know, so we spent some overtime on that trying to get it done, but that's the only way I can get ahead. We started actually doing this in cold weather before most people were out digging in other counties, but we knew we had to because we knew what we were up against, so that plays in factor too.
All right. Any comments or questions from council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Flanagan.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Mokel. Bookout.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Cantz.
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you both. All right, moving on, Elizabeth.
1212 CASA, 101 Program Director, negative 17,000, 310 Professional Services, positive 16,000, 362 Repairs and Maintenance Software, positive 1,000, total transfer 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan.
Jeff Hanser,
Jeff.
Chief Probation Officer, here for Emily again. These were funds that were put into the CASA Director position in anticipation of perhaps getting a attorney to become the director. Nicole Boskin was hired. She's not an attorney, so the money's requested to be transferred back out into the contractual services for the CASA program to use an attorney as needed, and then with $1,000 of that going into Adobe subscription for the year.
Any questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Flanagan.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Mokel. Bookout.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Cantz.
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, moving to the addendum.
Back in County General, 153 Commissioners, 139-101 Commissioner HR Receptionist, negative $2,956.88. 104-101 Executive Administrator, positive $2,956.88, total transfer 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan. Jenna?
This is just to make sure that my current line is not gonna go in the negative at the end of the year. I just took it from my old line to my current line.
Any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Flanagan.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Mokel. Bookout.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Cantz.
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes, thank you, Jenna. All right, moving on to appropriations. Elizabeth?
All right. We are out of County General. 4911 Delaware County Fair and Expo. 311 Contractual Services. $40,000 for a total of $40,000.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan. Carrie?
I'm here on behalf of Donna. So what this is the company that does our payroll. There was 2 bills at the end of the year that did not get encumbered. So that's to take care of that. Also, we've got some part-time workers that have worked the majority of the summer. So that will fill up, take care of that.
All right, any questions from council?
I'm just looking at we have a January 1 cash balance of 397,000, and we've already approved 377,000. Am I reading that correctly?
Honestly, I don't know. I just have the information that Donna gave me after the finance meeting.
It's showing a surplus funds remaining of 19,000. Is that after the 40,000?
I believe the way I read it, it is.
Okay.
We looked at that for last year's balance. Matt looked that up and we were right around 21,000 at the end of the year, so it's not a significant difference. Are you looking up there, buddy?
Yes, the 19 is after.
That's after the 40,000, so okay. Thank you.
Does that answer your questions?
It does.
Bill? Any further questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Flanagan.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
Mokel. Bookout.
Yes.
Piper.
Yes.
Cantz.
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, Carrie. All right, moving on to state 911, Elizabeth?
All right. 1222, statewide 911, 123-101, deputy director, $3,000 for a total of $3,000.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan. Fred?
When the old deputy director left, we had to pay him out, but I had a need to move the new deputy director in, the day after he left, so this is to cover that payout.
Any questions from council? I do have one question, Fred. Could this have been done as a transfer from other lines that hadn't been fully filled as far as positions?
Yeah, I don't have that in the statewide 911 fund though.
Okay.
Positions that haven't been filled are in the county general. This is completely separate, so this is just an additional appropriation.
Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Flanagan,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mokel, Bookout,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Cantz,
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes. Alrighty, move on to planning commission. Elizabeth?
9216, 518, DMMPC, 311 contractual services, $10,000 for a total of $10,000.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan. Kylie?
Good morning, Colleen Swackhammer, Planning Commission. So this is a request to create a fund line for 2 grants that were received. I'm working with the commissioners. They are updating the Delaware County Americans with Disability ADA Transition Plan. And these were 2 grants that we received to put towards this project. There was $5,000 from the Ball Brothers Foundation and $5,000 from the Community Foundation.
Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Flanagan,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mokel, Bookout,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Cantz,
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kylie.
Motion to approve financial transfers and to amend salary ordinance with like reductions.
Second.
Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan. Roll call, please.
Flanagan,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mokel, Bookout,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Cantz,
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes. You have the backfilling report in front of you.
Motion to receive the backfilling report.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hughes, second by Mr. Bookout. Roll call.
Flanagan,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mokel, Bookout,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Cantz,
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes. Alrighty, moving on, we don't have any ordinances or resolutions. Old business. Mr. Hughes has asked us to do some investigating and then discussion on a rainy day fund. I have talked with the auditor and emails to the State Board of Accounts. I'm going to ask Mr. Freeman to evaluate what the response was and give us his opinion on what State Board of Accounts would like to see as far as what we do. Based off what I've read, we can put money from the lit supplemental distribution into rainy day. What I'm trying to figure out is then when we go to appropriate it, if it has to be put back into lit or otherwise. So we've done some work on it, Bill. Do you have further questions you'd like to have specifically answered that I can ask? And
Well, I
believe
just want to, I want to make sure we understand why I brought this up in the first place. We're talking about our local income tax paid by Delaware County individual residents. In October of each year, the state forecasts what monies will be available in the coming year. And then in May, they readjust their thinking and they don't have to, but they can make a supplemental distribution. The supplemental distribution comes in 3 tranches. Economic development, that's under the purview of the commissioners. Public safety, we set that aside and actually we usually, or have in the past few years, budgeted for public safety, so that portion is needed in to supplement that.
So the only thing we're talking about here is the certified share. Last year, we received $638,000 in the supplemental share. This year, it's $1,104,000. So my thinking was, we never budget for that supplemental. We pretend like it's always going to be zero. So rather than just put $1,000,001 into general fund, where it may or may not get spent, but it's going to inflate our balance, I think, I thought it appropriate to consider taking the excess of this year versus last year, which would be $466,000, and add that to the rainy day fund. Current balance of the rainy day fund is $609,025. In the 2.5 years on the council and 5 years serving as council's attorney, I never remember anything happening with the rainy day fund. It's there if needed, but $609,000 frankly wouldn't handle many emergencies. So my proposal is to take that excess, the $466,000, add it to the rainy day fund. That would bring our new balance of the rainy day fund to $1,075,088. The state really, I don't think, from what I've researched, they don't have a number in mind. It's up to us. They don't want to ever see the rainy day fund, I think, be more than about 10% of the general fund, which we're far short of that. But I think it's prudent to consider doing that, and in the event of, it could be some outside event that requires emergency funding. It could be that the entire HVA system in this building goes down, which is not far-fetched. So it could be any one of a number of uses. The state is, I think, very liberal on how you use your rainy day funds. You have to adopt an ordinance or resolution stating that it's needed and you can withdraw it. But for now, it's just our savings account. The interest earned on that goes into the general fund. So we're not losing that, but it's there if needed. So that's my thinking, and the reason I asked this to be brought up.
Is there an existing ordinance today? Do we know?
There are a few.
Had to be established, I would assume.
There are a few existing ordinances regarding the rainy day fund, and previous councils have said that money put in it was supposed to be. Thank you. Money put in it was supposed to be taken back out and used for a specific purpose, and I do believe when we put money in there, we have to have ordinance or resolution stating where the money's coming from, how much is going in there, and then potential uses for it when it comes out. The previous ordinance specifically stated what it was for and why they were putting it in there. But we would need to determine that.
And it would also go to the state for them to sign off on.
Correct. Now, Bill, I would disagree with you. When we did our budgets, I have here in my budget book that we estimated at least $260,000 of possible lit supplemental distribution into our lit budgets. However,
But not
to
in
your
the general,
point,
nothing in the general fund, right?
correct.
Yeah.
But to your point of we got more than we estimated, so I have no issue with putting some of the excess in there if we're able to. It's just, I don't think that 466,000 plus number is accurate as far as having it as extra funds. Now, it all could be wrong if we don't reach our budget's spent number and there's money left at the end of the year. But it's also what I'm asking Ben to review is if we can take lit supplemental money and put it in a rainy day fund and then pull it out and use it for general fund expenditures.
And
Which
that's-
the State Board of Accounts was very gray in answering that.
Well, DLGF issued a memo on June 4th. Is that the one? That may not be the one. I think it was in January they issued a memo. that seemed to me to state pretty clearly that, that would go back into general, because right now, that 1,104,000 has been received. It's in county general right now. So it's there. We could have anticipated it and said, well, we're going to put half of it or whatever into rainy day fund, and the other half into county general. We didn't do that because we didn't, again, you don't know until the announcement is made how much the supplemental is going to be. But I'm thinking, though, we're getting $465,835 in for public safety. That would cover the 260
Yes.
that we estimated. So I think that takes care of that. I don't think that affects my numbers here at all.
Okay.
Because public safety and economic development are separate and apart. I'm only concerned about just dumping all this money into county general with no plan, and the same as a household budget. You're going to set aside some money for emergencies, and 600,000 was probably the appropriate number years ago when they put it in there, but I think it needs to be enhanced at this point.
All right. What I'm hearing is if Ben agrees that we can move money from this fund into rainy day fund, that you'd like to have an ordinance drawn up for us to approve for our
Yes.
next meeting?
That would be my request. I guess I don't need a motion for that purpose.
No, I don't believe so either.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that way Ben can be working on it between now and the next meeting. Is council acceptable with that?
Yes.
Please.
So, generally speaking, DLGF passed along the statute that talks about the rainy day funds. I completely agree with you. I have not reviewed any of the prior ordinances regarding how rainy day funds were set up or for what purpose they were to be used, but it is absolutely required that there be a defined purpose for the funds that are in the rainy day funds. So if and when they're used for that purpose. That's very clear. There's not a lot, unsurprisingly, there never is on these statutes that deal with these accounts. There's not a lot of case law or anything out there. There is an Attorney General opinion from 2003, which is roughly about the time that this statutory scheme was adopted, that seems to suggest, and this is not a court of law, it's just the Attorney General's opinion at the time, that as long as the funds are truly extra or the original purpose for which the fund was created has already been satisfied so that these funds are in excess, that they can be transferred unless there's a specific clause in their statute that creates that fund, the tax revenue, that generated the tax revenue says otherwise. They may be transferred into a rainy day fund by the council. And then ultimately, if it needs to go back to the general fund after that, the opinion seems to suggest that that's okay, and that they would no longer be subject to any of the restrictions that the original taxing statute may have imposed, other than you have to use them for the purpose of the rainy day fund for which it was created. So you can't pull them out of the rainy day fund just to go, plug budgetary holes that are not the purpose for which the rainy day fund was created in the first place. So it's not free use of money. It's not a way to just, essentially transfer into the general fund if you otherwise couldn't. It is meant to fulfill the purpose of the rainy day fund as you define in whatever ordinances that you pass. So that's just a very general overview of what I've found thus far, but it seems as though if you create an ordinance allowing you to make these transfers into the rainy day fund for a specific purpose that you guys think would be beneficial, in a budgetary crisis or whatever, if an emergency happens with a building or something else, then based on what I've seen, at least the Attorney General in 2003 seemed to think that that was okay.
Yeah, the memo I referred to was, I found it now, January 29th memo from DLGF, and it echoes what you've just said, that a taxing unit can transfer unused and unencumbered funds from its general fund or other property tax levy funds to rainy day. And then the process for taking money out of rainy day is as the same as you would do for an additional appropriation.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't state that, but I agree that it's very clear that those funds would then have to be appropriated out of rainy day and then appropriated to whatever purpose you wanted to use them.
And then my question is, the 600,000 that's currently sitting in there would have an ordinance tied to them for their specific use, correct? That we would have to use those for the use that they were determined at that time?
I mean, presumably, I like I said, I haven't reviewed those ordinances. I would say at a minimum, the funds that are in there now would be used for that purpose. And then I suppose it would also be possible, though I'd have to confirm, presumably you'd have the ability to update those original ordinances as well. So if you wanted to add a purpose or remove a purpose or something like that, then presumably you would, I mean, it's this council that created the ordinance in the first place, so you should be able to amend it.
Any other comments? And then we'll have you draft something for us to review, and Bill, make sure that whatever he puts together says what you would like for it to read, and then we'll come together as far as an amount.
Could we also ask legal counsel to review those past ordinances as well? And if there's recommended legalities that need to be updated to be incorporated into the new ordinance as well, to not only govern these funds, but the previously allocated funds, so that they're all on the same level playing field.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Sound good to you, Ben? All right. Thank you, Bill. All right, moving on to, like I said, we have any other old business that I don't have on the agenda? All right, moving on to new business. The budget hearing schedule, what I have on there is just tell you what days. It's the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday after Labor Day, starting at 8 a.m. each day. The detailed schedule is still being worked on to try and make it as efficient as possible for you all as well as us. But I wanted to make sure, because there's been some questions about when the budget hearings would start. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday after Labor Day. Any other new business I don't have on the agenda? All right, moving on to elected officials and department heads. I have a few that have asked to speak, and we'll start with John. Is John Catino in the room? He's not. Does anybody want to speak on his behalf? No? All right. Well, then we'll move on. Jeff, are you representing Tony today? All right. New law says we have to have a commissary update every quarter.
Thank you.
And I know the date was, I think, July 15th, but I was asked by the Sheriff's Department for just an extension to our meeting. And I hope that was all right with council. All right, Jeff, proceed, please.
Jeff Stanley, Sheriff's Office. I believe the commissary report, the sheriff sent that to you via email last week. Okay.
Nancy did.
I'm going to go over a few other numbers for our mid-year report. The sheriff sends his best. He wasn't able to attend today, but as far as meal costs, our new vendor's working out very well, Invictus. So currently we're paying $1.62, 62.8 a meal. And if our inmate population goes over 404, which we're actually flirting with here recently, that rate will go lower to 159 a meal. So just to kind of put that in perspective, last year we averaged $1.75. So it's a significant cost savings so far this year. Our pension, the first 6 months of this year, our funds are up 6.59%. The balance as of June 30th of this year, $24,003,407. It's a growth of about $1,470,695 so far this year. Our jail revenue from January to June, so far we generated $306. So $596,419.30 is from the federal inmates, so that's approximately about 73%. And then, so last year we put in an estimated jail revenue of 1 million, so far we're well to exceed that. Our commissary report, like I said, it was sent to you last year, or last week, so if you have any questions about that, Miss Nancy would be gladly to answer those.
Is the inmate dollars and revenue just go into the general fund? Oh, yes, it's not allocated to something else. Yeah. Okay.
And are they paid up within a month? Are we getting our funds timely, I guess is my question.
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously, the only thing that's not
Okay.
Feds are on time, DOC being the state. Are they caught up?
Did they get all of last year's paid up? Okay.
So they have not paid up last year's and they're not current on this year's.
The only thing that the state is current on is the medications. They have kept that current, but not housing.
State, yeah.
We're gonna get that.
Plus, I got a commissary question anyway, so come on up.
I was gonna let you get away with it, but
Yeah,
Thank you, Ben.
they are current on all their medications for
The
what they
state is
owe us.
current on the
The
car-
state is,
Uh-huh.
but not housing. For some reason, August, September from last year's where we're still sitting at, that they have not paid.
Because I thought I read that they had released or were working towards,
They might have released it, but they haven't paid it.
okay.
So,
Do you know what the number is?
not off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and pull on my records.
Okay.
Would you be able to send that to council, please?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Then on the commissary report, so the balance currently is 315,195 roughly,
Correct.
based on what you said? Okay.
On the commissary report, can you help me understand how charges are decided, who's going to spend what on what? Is there?
Well, from the report, you can see across the top what's been approved by State Board of Accounts, what we can spend it on. So, for
I mean, like the
example,
individual line items.
for example, all of our computer upgrades that we've had to make, which was about 36 computers, we didn't take that out of the general fund. We took all of that out of commissary. Vehicles, radios, because we have to now upgrade all the radios. That's the main thing. We're trying to get the balance up because it's going to be about $175,000 just for radios. That's portables. That's not looking if they do cars. So we're trying to build it up so we can do all these things.
So specifically, like what I'm looking at is, and this is ignorance, but like Sam's Club, $1,042. How do,
That is their vending machines.
okay.
That was one of the things
Filling
that
the
was
vending
added.
machines.
Yeah, we have some that are just for the jail.
Yeah.
And they don't go anywhere to eat, so they eat from those machines
Okay.
every day.
So I see caffeinery on here, $1,242.
That is 6 months worth of coffee for in all the break rooms. He doesn't bill us in a timely manner, so when I write a check to them, it's 6 months at a time.
Any further questions?
On the pension, has the actuary supplied proposed levels of contribution from the county for 2026?
Yes, and when I did our portion of the budget on the sheriff's side, I put in the maximum. I also only put it into the sheriff's budget, general budget. I know you guys move part of it into lit and part of it out of yours and part of it out of ours. I just put it all in one, that way you guys can do what you want to do.
But is the actuary's report, do we have a copy of that?
Yes, Elizabeth, what's that page called? Where we uploaded stuff so that the council could see it for the,
Oh, the store.
The stories. I put that into the stories, that
Okay.
letter with all the information.
Okay, thank you.
One other quick question on the commissary report. So when an individual is getting reimbursed out of there, is it typically for like an expense reimbursement or something?
Correct. We take and we'll reimburse them. They have a meal per diem, for example, or if they go to a class and they had to pay for books or whatever out of it that we didn't know up ahead of time, then we'll reimburse them for that.
Any other questions? Thank
Mind if I-
Please, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just so the council's aware, because it's been a couple of years, so not all of you were here. The expenditures that the sheriff's department is able to make for those commissary funds, there is an ordinance that was adopted by this council that sets forth 21 different approved uses for those funds. So I'm happy to, if any of you want to see it, obviously it's available online, but I've got a copy that I can forward you as well.
Go ahead and send it, because sometimes it's hard to find documents on the website.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and email it out.
Thank you, Ben. Any other questions or comments? Nancy, Jeff, thank you both. Appreciate the report. Kylene.
Kylene Swackheimer, Plan Commission. So I just wanted to give you some information on the ADA transition plan update that I mentioned earlier with the grants. This is currently undergoing an update to the entire plan. The purpose of this is to kind of do a self-assessment of all the county-owned facilities and amenities and identify any barriers to accessibility. This report does include a site visit to all of these facilities, pictures, documentation, inspections to make sure that everything is ADA compliant. It is a gathering of anything that is deficient is noted, and there is a transition plan recommended. So how much the cost would be to get this up to compliance, and things like that. So there are, let's see, 8 facilities that are included in this current update. That is the county building, the Justice Center, the Highway Department, EMS Station number 3, the Emergency Management 911 Dispatch Building, the Fairgrounds, the Health Department, and then the new Mental Health Facility building. So the requirements for an ADA and Title VI compliance. This is a federal requirement for any entity that receives federal funds. So this is very important that we keep this up to date in order to continue to receive federal funding. For my office, we receive federal funds in the form of an allocation for road projects, bridge projects, trail projects. We also receive a reimbursement allocation for salaries and work done on planning activities. So let's see, status. We are currently, we have updated the Title VI policy. The final one is not posted just quite yet, but it will be soon. We've updated the grievance policy, and it is available online, as well as the complaint forms and the complaint procedure. We have completed all the building assessments. This was done by a consulting firm, American Structure Point. They were the ones that were hired to do this plan. Don Chambers, building superintendent, has been working with them and going on all the site visits and taking part in that process. And then let's see, employee training. Employee training is underway. There is an annual training requirement. So there is a PowerPoint that was emailed out to all county employees to do. Kyle Johnson has posted that on the website. There's a link that at the end of the training, you click it and it records who has done it. So I think we're doing pretty good on that. We're around about 200 employees that have completed it currently. So there's that. Let's see, other information. There's a public input meeting We did have our first public input session at one of the commissioners' meetings earlier this month. We did not receive any public comments at that meeting, but we are holding a second public meeting on August 6th at the Emergency Management Agency building. So you did get a flyer on that you can share with whoever you think it needs to be shared with, as well as the other resources. There is an online survey as well for the public to complete. I did give you a copy of the QR code to access that survey. You can share that as well. And all these papers I did put out at the table out there for anyone that would like to take them. There is a paper copy of the survey if people do not have access to a device in order to take it online as well. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm very appreciative for the grants that we did receive. The $5,000 from the Community Foundation and $5,000 from Ball Brothers Foundation to help pay for the cost of this plan. The plan needs to be updated every 3 years, along with an annual report submitted as to the progress we've made and anything that's been completed as far as our recommendations and goals.
All righty. Any comments or questions for Kylene? I am going to give a little more details on your meeting. It is at 4 o'clock.
Yes.
And the address, in case the public doesn't know, is
Yes.
210 South Jefferson Street here in Muncie. And that is, again, August the 6th, for all those that are interested in attending. Kylene, thank you for your hard work on this.
You're welcome. Also, the plan is to be completed by August 19th. August 11th is kind of our target date that we anticipate everything being done, so you will have access to that once everything is completed. So we've been working, we do have a committee that's been working on this. All three commissioners, myself, Kyle Johnson, Pam McCammon, and then legal, we've had John Brook and Daniel Struble working on this as well. So everybody's been pitching in and helping out to get this accomplished. The only other thing I wanted to mention while I was up here is that the Plan Commission has scheduled a special meeting to discuss the solar ordinance. It is scheduled for August 12th at 6 p.m. The doors will open at 5:15. It is going to be held at the Justice Center at, what's their address? 3100 South Tillotson. Anyone wishing to speak and make a public comment does need to sign up the evening of the meeting prior to 6 p.m. when the meeting starts. And there's
Alrighty.
more information about that on our website as well.
Thank you for that update as well.
Mhm.
Any questions or comments for Kylene? And thank you again and the whole committee then for working on that ADA. That is vital, important, so.
Thank you.
Any other elected officials or department heads that would like to speak? All right, seeing none. Tommy, would you go out and see if anybody from the public signed up, please? Or is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak? Thank you, Tommy. All right, comments from council.
Just wanted to double check the, DLGF was going to issue a report of miscellaneous income, I think on the 15th of this month. I checked a couple times. I didn't find it yet, that it's on their website. Has the auditor's office received anything yet?
I can help answer that question.
Okay.
The 24th, there will be a meeting with the DLGF and the auditor's office when they do their update, and I was told Form 2, which is the revenue form, will be filled out with numbers from DLGF.
Excellent.
Is that accurate? So hopefully by the 24th, we'll have answers for sure, Bill.
Yeah, the sooner we can have in front of us the revenue projections, that will get us in the right frame of mind going into budget hearings, I think. So if we could have that as quickly as it's available, even if it's incomplete, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, we can prepare something
Okay.
prior to budget hearings.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any other comments from council?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate the Fair Board on a successful 4-H fair and Midway and all the other fun and events they had. I know Monday was a little bit different this year during the traditional fair week, not having the Midway running and having the community day. And I thought it looked, at least being out there, it felt like it was very successful and a great way for people to come out and eat their fair food, get their fair food fix, essentially for free because it was open to the public that night. So I was very pleased, even though the weather looked iffy most nights, it actually turned out to be a really great week. So congratulations to the Fair Board on another successful event.
I have one thing. Commissioner Brand and I attended the Budget and Finance 2 meeting yesterday afternoon in Indy, put on by the Association of Indiana Counties. It was specifically about capital improvement plans and programs, and a couple things to note. So I don't believe that Delaware County has a capital improvement plan in place today. They're really structured to understand capital improvements around roads and highways, infrastructure, IT, all major significant capital plans, how you prioritize them, how you allocate resources, how you fund them, etc. It's something that, at least I won't speak for Commissioner Brand, but from my perspective, I think, well, we're not sure if we actually required one because I think we're a GAP county, is that right? And there was some discussion around GAP counties needing a capital improvement plan, and that's a question which we'll deal with later. But what goes into a capital improvement plan? It's really about defining those projects of what we need. There's been talk in the commissioners' meetings about the county building itself and improvements required here, creating a budget for those things, preparing a timeline. And then there was chatter about capital improvement boards, which are not required, but may include city folks, may include stakeholders from the community, etc. They're the ones going to help establish this plan and feed it. Soliciting public feedback is another important factor, and then obviously communication to the public. One thing that came up specifically around townships is apparently the legislature has dictated that townships must have a capital improvement plan by September of this year. And as part of that, all townships are required to allocate up to 30% of their unrestricted funds to road improvements, which was a surprise anyway, or not a surprise, but it was something we didn't realize, and that probably opens the door to a need for us to be in communication with our township boards and councils and trustees and what have you to discuss whether one, they understand this, and two, what may be included in their plans going forward. So I just thought I'd share a little bit of information about that. I hope that we as a county can work towards, as maybe even part of our financial planning for the future, a capital improvement plan, because I think it's a necessary item, particularly if, we're talking about rainy day funds, but, how are we going to allocate funds for county building improvements, future road, things, et cetera. So, if anybody wants a copy of this, I have a couple of decks that these lawyers and LTAP gave us while we were there. That's it.
All righty, thank you, Matt. Anybody else from council? I would like to echo Jessica's comments. As a 4-H parent, it's really nice to have a fairgrounds that the Fair Board's willing to work with the 4-Hers. It's nice to see all the volunteers that are out at the fairgrounds, not only helping out the fair itself, but the 4-H and the 4-H projects. It takes a lot of people and a lot of effort, and I want to commend all those that don't get enough praise. And it just really means a lot as a 4-H parent. So with that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Piper, second by Flanagan. Roll call, please.
Flanagan,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Mokel, Bookout,
Yes.
Piper,
Yes.
Cantz,
Yes.
Whitehead.
Yes. Our next meeting is Tuesday, August 26th at 9 a.m. right here.